Have you ever wanted to follow your intuition, but when you get quiet and ask for an answer, you come up blank, empty-handed? Or you think it's your intuition, you follow the gut feeling, and it is completely wrong? If this has been happening to you, you're not broken. You are not blocked. You just haven't been taught how to hear your intuition. Today, we're going to dive into why this is happening and, more importantly, how to fix it. I used to think I didn't have any intuition, and what I just described fit me to a T. I concluded this was a gift that only certain people had, and I didn't have it. What I found out is this happens to everybody at some point in their life. Turns out I just didn't have the method to tune in, and my life was too busy, my mind was too out of control, that I was missing all of the intuitive hits that were coming my way all the time. The truth is, most people are using their intuition the wrong way, and you're not supposed to jump in to using your intuition on big decisions without practicing, without having that method, and with a cluttered mind that isn't prepared to understand those messages. So let's break down the top 5 ways why you're missing your intuitive hit. Number 1, you are too busy. Your mind is going a million miles a minute. You've got a list of things to do that you don't know how you're going to get done in the day, and you are thinking about the next thing you have to do as you're doing the thing that's right in front of you. This is one that I have to continually pull myself back from because, let's face it, if you're a parent and you're working full time, you've got kids in sports or activities, you have to be planning and you have to be 10 steps in front in order to get everything done. But intuition's language is stillness. So if you are running like this, like a train that's just pushing forward, you need to find a way to step back and step into that stillness. Let me give you an example. I realized I was in this state where I was overwhelmed and burning the candle at both ends. I forced myself to take a tech-free few hours. I shut off my phone. I turned off my computer, took a break. I think I took vacation for the afternoon, and I went out on a walk. I forced myself to be present in the moment. Anytime my mind wandered, I brought it back to the present moment. And it's amazing what you'll notice when you get into that quiet space. Birds, textures, flowers, details on people's houses as I was walking by that I had never noticed before. And then out of nowhere, I got a clear message to look under a pile of pillows on the top shelf in my closet. I had no idea what I was going to find there, but I followed the nudge, and there was a small envelope of pictures that I had been looking for several weeks and unable to find. I was working on putting something together for my mom's 70th birthday and wanted to find a couple pictures. I had looked in all the other places I had pictures, couldn't find them anywhere. They weren't where I thought they'd be. And when I got still, out of nowhere, my intuition showed me where to look. This is how it works. And it's that space that allows you to receive. So here's my challenge for you. Create 5 minutes of stillness. No people, no phones, no electronics, just you, just be, and see where that takes you. Number 2, you're letting fear and anxiety speak louder than intuition. And this one is really sneaky because fear masquerades as intuition. Have you ever said, I got a really bad feeling about it, but realized it was just your anxiety later? And this one happens to me too. I have to work really hard to overcome this one. The difference between anxiety and intuition is that intuition is neutral, whereas fear is loud. Intuition will say, this isn't right for you. And fear will be screaming in your head, don't do this. Everything is going to go wrong. So let me give you a simple trick. Ask yourself, does this feel like inner knowing or inner panic? If your stomach is knots and your brain is racing, that is your number 1 tip that it is fear or anxiety. If your body is calm and you're still getting those messages, that's when you'll know it's your intuition. Which brings me to, when you're in the situation and you're not sure, step back and ask yourself that question. Is this my intuition or is this my inner panic? Number 3, you haven't made intuition your daily practice. In order to understand if it is your intuition or your logical mind or fear, anxiety, any of those things, practicing on very unimportant things is going to be your best friend. Because what happens is if you're practicing every day on stupid little things that don't impact your daily life, you're going to start understanding and building a relationship with your intuition so you know exactly what it feels like when you want to use it on something that is important, that does have bearing on your life. Intuition is a skill, and that skill needs practice to develop. You wouldn't expect to play the piano without learning the basics, having a method, and practicing every single day. So why would you expect to get great intuitive insights without any practice? It's that consistency, that daily conversation with your intuition that is going to build your skills the most. So if you haven't downloaded my free ebook, Intuition Unlocked, The 5 Pillars, you should do it now. And in this, you can find some really easy ways that you can practice on your own without anybody as help. You can find the link to that in the description below. Number 4, starting with high stakes decisions. Another mistake I see all the time. People forget about using their intuition and only use it when it matters. And this will fail every single time. Should I leave my job? Is this relationship right for me? Is this the man of my dreams? Should I move across the country? Should I buy this house? The list goes on and on for these impactful decisions that we should not be using our intuition for. Once you have trained your intuition, you've trained yourself, you're having those daily conversations, you have a method to tap in every time, your intuition is your best friend and you should be using it all day long on every single decision that you're making. But if you don't have that relationship, that method, the practice, all of those things built in, it will be much harder to tap in, especially on something holding a lot of weight. It's like trying to lift a 200-pound weight when you haven't built any muscle. It creates pressure, and that pressure makes clarity disappear completely. You want to start small, and my ebook is going to be your best friend in starting small with that practice. Then you can start working up to intuitive eating, and using your intuition at the grocery store, and using your intuition on which route you should take to go to do regular things that you are always doing, and incorporating it into your life. You start small and then you work your way up to where it really counts. And then with the practice, as you start getting the exercises right, that's what builds that trust and that connection to your intuition. The more you practice on the small stuff, the easier the big stuff gets. So my challenge for you on this one is to download the book, get the exercises, and practice every single day this week and see how that works for you. Number 5, your mind is too cluttered. Again, this kind of goes with being too busy, but when you have not trained your mind to stay present in the moment and you are scattered, you're trying to stay present and then you're thinking about your dog, I need to brush my dog, or I'm thinking about a conversation you had with a coworker, or you're thinking about what you're going to make for dinner, it doesn't allow any room for your intuition to speak to you. So the best way I have found to combat this is through meditation. This doesn't have to be any kind of crazy practice. Again, I do recommend meditating for 20 minutes a day. However, even 3 to 5 minutes a day will help you tremendously. If you don't have a meditation practice, get one. I got videos on it. Search my playlist for meditation. And again, not to keep plugging my ebook, but it's all in there and will help you get a meditation practice today so you can start your path with clarity and ease. When I started clearing my mind, I saw a big shift in how my intuition started coming through. Now, meditation will not get you connected to your intuition because you need a method to do that. But you can't receive intuitive information until you've taken that step, getting that clear mind. And that brings me to the most important thing you need to do to get clear intuitive guidance, and that is having a method. I've said it before, I've said it all through this video. Without a structured way to tap in every single time, you're kind of just flowing in the wind. Is my intuition going to speak to me now? But in order to get it when you want it, you've got to be able to know how to tap in. And this is where the transformation really happens. When I finally stopped guessing and I was able to tune in with this method, that's when everything changed for me. So if you're feeling like your intuition is quiet, lost, or non-existent, you're in the right place. You are not broken, you are just disconnected. But the good news is you can rebuild that connection very easily following the tips in this video, downloading my ebook. You can rebuild that connection and it doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to flounder around in the wind not knowing what to do. I'd love for you to leave a comment and tell me what gets in the way for you tuning into your intuition the most. And I'd love to hear your story. And if you're ready to dive into some practice now, I think you'll really like this video.